5 on your side at 10 starts now.
Skating into the new year with a golden opportunity.
I mean, this is a huge thing for St. Louis.
Tonight, the excitement building just days before Olympic hopefuls compete in our backyard.
New year, same gray pattern. When the sun returns and if this dry stretch breaks anytime soon.
Our top story, another face of a victim of gun violence in St. Louis.
Hey, buddy, it's okay.
Tonight, the plea from animal advocates.
The dogs that are most likely to get injured, be victims of gun violence, are the nice ones.
Gunfire in St. Louis is a problem not only for people, but for pets too. Stray Rescue tells me one of their dogs spent the first day of 2026 in surgery, a victim of gun violence and a walking miracle. We must warn you, some of this footage is disturbing. Bloodied by bullets right before the new year.
He shot here underneath his
eye. Buddy, it's okay.
A shots fired call turning into a rush to save a life for 2 St. Louis City police officers. Video shows one officer carrying the 48-pound puppy and placing him in the back of the patrol car.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna take you somewhere good, okay?
It's still shocking every single time a gun violence victim comes in through our doors.
Katie Grana of Stray Rescue St. Louis says the animal shelter has named him Wallace, where he is recovering from gunshots to his face and leg.
When I went in and first met him, he just insisted on holding my hand. And so I just sat with him in his crate and was holding his hand because he just wants to be loved.
You can do it. You're a strong, brave boy.
There were 4 shell casings found at the scene, so he was shot at 4 times, but two bullets hit him.
Bullets barely missing Wallace's bones and eye.
He would not have made it if he had been shot in the eye. That would have killed him.
Sadly, he's not the only furry friend caught in the crosshairs of shooting on holidays.
The senseless gun violence that we could consistently have gun violence victims in our clinic. Wallace is not the first, and unfortunately, he won't be the last.
A new year breeding new challenges for the puppy.
He really had some angels looking out for him.
Wallace still alive and fighting his way into 2026. Stray Rescue setting up this donation page to help this survivor win in another chance at life.
He should have a full, happy recovery and be able to live a beautiful life like he's supposed to.
Wallace underwent surgery today to get a broken tooth removed from being shot in the face. We are told he is doing okay tonight. If you would like to donate to Wallace's recovery, visit this story at KSDK.com.
Such a tragedy. Thank you, Melanie. Despite warnings from police, shots rang out as St. Louisans rang in the new year. St. Louis police report 782 shots fired calls and shot spotter activations last night. That was between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's 250 more calls than just last year. There were no reports of any injuries. Police say part of that increase comes from expanded shot spotter coverage in the Dutchtown and Mount Pleasant neighborhoods. Tonight, a Ferguson woman is recovering after celebratory gunfire hit her on New Year's Eve. She was rushed to the hospital just after midnight. Police say a bullet came through her apartment window on Glen Owen Drive. Neighbors say they heard gunshots in that area all night.
It's different. I mean, you heard more gunfire and everything. Before New Year's even happened, you heard more gunfire. So it's a little different.
Ferguson police are investigating. That woman is expected to be okay. A chilly start to 2026 in St. Louis. We may have to wait a few days for warmer air and weather impact. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell says we may have to wait even longer for rain.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before we see much rainfall around here. In the meantime, we are stuck with those clouds, and there might even be a little bit of mist, but there's nothing substantial in terms of rainfall heading our way anytime soon. And our temperatures, they haven't moved a whole lot as we've gone through the day today. We are still stuck in the 30s this evening as those clouds remain rather thick. In fact, you can see the top of the arch shrouded in that cloud cover right now. It's 34 degrees. The wind is calm. Most of us are just going to drop a few more degrees back into the upper 20s, maybe some mid 20s by tomorrow morning. Lots of clouds on the way. And then we look at what we go through tomorrow. more likely than not, we don't see much in the way of sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures heading back into the 30s to around 40 degrees during the afternoon hours. So what's next? What's our next weather impacts? Well, we have limited sunshine into Saturday. It's mainly dry for the rest of the week for sure. Warmer next week with a pattern change ahead. We'll see in a few minutes to talk about that.
Yeah, we'd want to hear that. Thank you, Scott. Tonight, the squabble over who gets to pick the next sheriff of St. Louis continues. Just hours before the new year, Mayor Kara Spencer sent a scathing 5-page letter to the Board of Aldermen. Our Justina Cornell poured through that letter and the receipts the mayor is bringing to the table.
This has gotten very complicated very fast.
That's to say the least. We tapped St. Louis University law professor Anders Walker and 5 on Your Side's political analyst Anita Mannion to break down this complex case in selecting St. Louis City's next sheriff.
It is a political position, and there's a lot of jobs on the line. The sheriff gets to hire and fire. So there may be something here about who's going to get the job and who's got more friends in City Hall.
And Mannion believes a power dynamic may be at play.
And part of this is a push for power. Who has this power in city government? Is it the mayor or is it the Board of Aldermen? And so this isn't just about this one situation, but it's setting the tone for the entire term.
To break down the latest, on Thursday, a public safety committee scheduled for Friday is now canceled. This meeting was meant for sheriff applicants to testify for a special election. However, on New Year's Eve, Missouri's Attorney General filed a petition to pause efforts for a special election by the Board of Aldermen. Also on New Year's Eve, St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer sent this 5-page letter with receipts to the Board of Aldermen. In mid-December, the city and the Board of Aldermen agreed to have the board's participation in court arguments involving the sheriff working as a united front. But then the mayor's office learned through a December 23rd email that Board of Aldermen President Megan Green rescinded that agreement and hired outside counsel to intervene against the city, all while using public funds. Documents show Green's office was looking at hiring outside attorneys to represent the board at rates that could reach $500 an hour. But the comptroller rejected the request to pay outside lawyers.
I think when we see these public disputes, it's bad for government and it's bad for public trust. And it really is wasting time and money that we could use to move forward.
Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
A court hearing is scheduled for Monday regarding the Missouri Attorney General's attempt to block the efforts at City Hall. We're told the Board of Aldermen president won't comment on pending litigation. A Missouri judge dismisses more than 60 felony charges in connection to that 2018 duck boat sinking in Branson. 17 people died when the tour boat sank in Table Rock Lake during a storm. The judge ruled there was no probable cause. The boat's captain and 2 supervisors ignored severe weather forecasts before taking that boat out onto the water. Right now, St. Louis police are still looking for the person who stole a car with a 1-year-old inside. It happened last night in the Bevo neighborhood in South City. Investigators say someone took off with the car, which was left running. Minutes later, a Good Samaritan spotted that abandoned car in a nearby alley with the child still inside. She called police.
It was a big shock and very upsetting because it was so cold last night. I was really afraid that like the engine could have shut off and the doors were unlocked. So anybody could have hopped back into that car and driven off with that baby.
Right now, police are asking anyone with info about that stolen car to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Well, we're now 36 days away from the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina and just 6 days away from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships at Enterprise Center. And that's where Team USA will be chosen. Tonight, enthusiasm is building for this golden opportunity for St. Louis. 5 on Your Side's Megan Curtin has reaction from leaders and those dreaming of Olympic gold someday.
Lace up the skates. Olympic excitement is gliding into St. Louis. After 20 years, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships return to St. Louis next week, bringing more than 180 athletes and the road to the Olympics back to the Gateway City. At Webster Ice Arena, Bella's celebrating a milestone, her first time on skates, cheered on by her cousin Emma, who's dreaming of figure skating too.
We are ice skating for the first time for Bella. This was on her winter break bucket list.
It's not just the pros getting ready to hit the ice. Skaters here in Webster Groves are feeling that excitement too, as St. Louis gets ready to shine on a national stage.
St. Louis Sports Commission President Mark Schreiber says total attendance could reach 60,000 across the week.
You'll probably have about 5,000 visitors coming in for the event, which, when you think about that, beginning of January to have 5,000 people coming to our community, filling hotels, filling restaurants, filling Enterprise Center, it's a wonderful thing.
Schreiber says early estimates put the economic impact at around $10 million, with the final numbers coming after the event wraps. And he says the star power this year is next level.
U.S. figure skating is at its peak right now. Who to watch for? On the men's side, it's Ilya Malinin. On the women's side, Alyssa Liu is the reigning world champion. We want to inspire our community, inspire young people. And there'd be nothing better than for some young person to come down to Enterprise Center next week, enjoy the championships, be inspired by these great role models, and then one day there's a St. Louisan on Olympic ice.
Reporting in Webster Groves, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
And there's still time to catch the action. Plenty of tickets are still available to purchase. Look for a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. The juniors and novices will compete Monday, January 5th and Tuesday, January 6th at the Centene Community Ice Center in Maryland Heights. The senior championships kick off Wednesday, January 7th at Enterprise Center. From your side is your home to the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony is February 6th. The 17 days of competition will end on February 22nd. Catch our coverage of the Winter Olympics in Milan and on the free 5+ streaming app. You can watch our special Countdown to the Winter Games on demand. 5+ is free to download on most smart TV devices. Just search KSDK in your app store. 5 on your side, on the move.
As we reported at the beginning of this newscast, there are major changes in the works.
Tonight, an ode to our Market Street studios as we prepare to say goodbye to our beloved building.
And now the news continues.
We're building for a bigger and brighter future.
35 years in this building, that's a lot of tracking. As dry as it is, we need some rain to track. And it looks like we'll have to wait until the end of next week. We'll time out the changes next.
A new year marks a new beginning here at 5 on your side. In just 3 days, we will leave our longtime home here at 1000 Market Street in downtown St. Louis to our new state-of-the-art broadcast center at the Highlands, located along I-64 right across from Forest Park. Tonight, 5 on your side is Mark Maxwell and senior digital producer Jacob Kurth. Take a look back at our past and look ahead to our future with the help of our good friend, Art Holliday.
Change is inevitable, change is constant, and change, well, it can be hard, especially when it asks you to say goodbye to a place that feels like home, a place where history was made, deadlines were chased, and the city came alive every single day. This building at 1000 Market Street has been many things over the years: a newsroom, a classroom, a proving ground, a second home. But even this place was once a change. In 1982, the move here felt bold, necessary. Technology was changing, television was changing. The tools of the trade were evolving faster than the walls could hold them. Cameras got smaller, broadcasts got faster, deadlines got tighter, and this station kept moving forward because standing still was never an option. Long before Market Street, there was a brand new idea called television. In 1947, KSDK signed on as KSD-TV, the second television station west of the Mississippi River, a signal pushing west just like the city it served. Back then, St. Louis was a gateway, and this station was a megaphone. The Pulitzer family would eventually sell KSD Radio as FCC rules changed and ownership shifted. New names, new owners, new chapters. Change brought sales, mergers, acquisitions, because powerful voices have always attracted powerful interests. But through every deal and every disruption, one thing never changed: the people. The reporters knocking on doors, the photographers running toward the sirens, the producers rewriting scripts as breaking news rolled in, the journalists who showed up day after day to explain a complicated world to the people who live in it. And now, once again, change is calling. This time, the move is west to the old arena grounds just south of Forest Park. A new space, new tools, new ways to tell the same essential stories. The zip code is changing, but the mission is not. Because buildings do not make journalism. Journalists do. And as long as there are questions to ask, truths to chase, and a city worth serving, this station will keep doing what it has always done: adapting, evolving, and moving forward together.
Places change, purpose doesn't. That's why 5 on Your Side is still your home for local news.
We have never been defined by walls or wires, only by the responsibility we accept when we turn on the lights.
Our final newscast here at 1000 Market will be Saturday night at 10 p.m. We'll begin broadcasting from our new home starting Sunday evening at 5, both on 5 on Your Side and on 5 Plus. Weather impact forecast time now, and I tell you what, Scott, we're really excited about that. I mean, it's like a brand new day for us.
Oh yeah, and we've got windows. That, from the weather department, we can
difference.
actually see outside what's going on. This is really exciting. It's really an exciting time. A lot of people have put in a tremendous amount of work, and they've been working around the clock through the holidays to make all this happen. So our technical team, just amazing. And we'll see you Sunday night, check us out, 5 o'clock. We're going to have fun in the new studio. All right, you're looking down Market Street right now. We are looking at those low clouds. They're kind of hugging the arch, top of the arch at this point, but our temperatures have moved very little this evening. We're still in the low to mid 30s in most areas. We'll be lucky if we drop back into the mid 20s tonight. Most of us are probably going to stay in the upper 20s. What we don't lose is the cloud cover. You have plenty of it stretching through tomorrow. We'll see those temperatures slowly creep back up, and like we saw today, it's going to be hard for us to get much above 38, 39 degrees. Many of us probably stay in the mid-30s. Saturday, similar, but Saturday later in the day, there should be at least some sunshine. We can hope, right? And then we head into Sunday morning. We'll start with at least some sun, but then the clouds come back. Next week, it's a whole pattern change. Everything's different. We're much warmer going into next week. Reason being is the active weather is focused out here to our west right now. The West Coast continues to see that rain. Were you watching the Rose Bowl parade early this morning? Right here on 5 on Your Side from 10 o'clock to noon. They were dodging some of those showers down there in Pasadena. That unsettled pattern stays out west, but that pattern is one that keeps the Arctic air pretty much locked up to our north. It's not headed our way anytime soon. We're seasonably cold for the next couple of days. Now, eventually, some of that energy from the west comes through next week, gives us a chance for some showers, and there will be more that slides out of the southwest. That tends to be a wetter pattern for us when we see that evolve. The question is, are we going to be able to drag moisture from the Gulf northbound? Now, as we go through Wednesday, the consensus among the models is probably not seeing much, if any, rain. But as we go into Thursday and Friday, at least the chance for showers, and maybe we get a quarter to a half an inch of rain as we head towards the end of next week. The timing and the specifics on that still yet to be worked out, of course, because we're a good deal of time away, but it doesn't look like it's a wintry weather option, as temperatures are just simply too warm for that, holding in the 50s and likely staying on the mild side even into next weekend. If you are traveling Saturday or Sunday within an easy day's drive of St. Louis, you really don't run into any snow until you get into northern Ohio on Saturday, and then on Sunday it's looking pretty quiet with the clouds just rolling back in. So you're cool for the next few days, lots of clouds, limited sun certainly over the weekend. Then it gets warmer as we head towards the weekend.
Something to look forward to. Thank you, Scott. We've got Frank standing by with sports.
Brent, a Mizzou player, remains loyal to the program. You can't stop Indiana on the football field, and the Blues are about to begin the second half of the season.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
Love to tell you stories about decisions in sports not solely based on money. The guy behind me did just that. Mizzou running back Jamal Roberts is not going to the portal and is going back to Columbia.
He'll take the snap. It'll be Jamal Roberts.
Jamal Roberts has always been in love with Mizzou. When he was running wild at St. Mary's, he knew he wanted to be a Tiger.
The high school season, I was like, yeah, like I can go play at the highest level at home, and the atmosphere down there, just going on visits and stuff like that, and just meeting the coaches and just experiencing that brotherhood on my visits, it's just like, yeah, I want to, be a Mizzou Tiger.
And last year, he strutted his stuff. Nearly 900 total yards and a staggering 6 yards a carry. And that's why Roberts was an ideal portal candidate. Go to another school, make more money, and become the featured back. But the Missourian, who is paid nicely at Mizzou, decided to stay loyal.
It's not always about the money. I mean, I was already getting paid before, I was kind of already blew up. I was already getting paid before in Mizzou. So it's not already about the money. It's about what I want to finish and what's my goals and how I want to get to the next level and who's going to take me to the next level. And I just feel like I just built that, strong and trustworthy relationship with Mizzou and coaching staff. So, yeah, that's how that was, and I just want to finish it, and we got it done.
And one final item. By sharing the backfield with Ahmad Hardy, Roberts could be healthier and fresher at the next level.
Tribula gives it to Roberts, bouncing his way right up the middle.
Bottom line, a local kid stayed loyal. That's Jamal Roberts. And this is Curt Cignetti, the best college football coach in America. Indiana, who's second all-time in losses, smashed Alabama today. And Fernando Mendoza played like the Heisman Trophy winner he is. The touchdown pass to Charlie Becker, 7 points, 10-0 Indiana. Mendoza was so accurate, 3 touchdown passes. This one to Elijah Surratt. Mendoza had more touchdown passes than incompletions. Alabama is annihilated 38-3. Ole Miss is going crazy, facing Georgia in the quarterfinals in the Sugar Bowl. Trinidad Chambliss hooks up with Harrison Wallace III on this touchdown. Ole Miss leads at 34-31 with about 4 minutes to play. Quarterfinals, college football playoff in Miami, Oregon against Texas Tech. The story of the game was the Oregon defense. This is Mateo Uiagalelei with the strip sack on Baron Morton. He takes it to the 5-yard line, and that play set up this one. Jordan Davison with the first of his 2 touchdowns. Oregon rolls 23-0. They get a rematch against Indiana next. The hockey season is 82 games. The Blues have played 41. There are 16 teams in the West, and the Blues are 13th in points. Bottom line, they will need a hellacious second half. It starts tomorrow at Enterprise at 2 o'clock against the Golden Knights. Let's hope the alarm clock works, because last night the Blues showed up late in Colorado. The game was over less than 5 minutes in, with the Avalanche leading 4-0. The Avs had 14 shots before the Blues had 1.
We got to start on time. Our preparation, our practices got to start on time. It's a habit. I mean, we haven't developed the necessary habits to be able to start on time regularly.
And Brent, on behalf of Scott Connell, I just want to say that Jeffrey Watkins is retiring tomorrow after 42 years at KSDK as a director. This is my last time working with him along with Scott. He was magnificent at his job. He wanted to make every show great. He cared about every detail, including how I tied my ties. We love this guy, and KSDK won't be the same without Jeffrey Watkins, who, oh, by the way, has the greatest selection of Nike Cortezes in the history of America. Jeffrey, we love you.
How about that? Frank, I concur with everything you said. We're going to miss that guy.
Yes, we will.
We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Mercedes McKay here. As we head into 2026, I know a lot of y'all at home are probably thinking, what's going to be my New Year's resolution? Time and time again, we choose to save more money. And there's actually a growing trend that may help you out if you don't want to be spending money that you don't necessarily have. It's called the No Buy Challenge. So basically, try not buying any new clothes for 30 to 90 days. One nonprofit actually said if you don't buy any new clothes for 90 days, you could save $300. But maybe it's not clothes that you spend a lot of money on. Maybe it's electronics or toys possibly for your kids. Just try not spending that amount for 30 to 90 days and see where it takes you. Experts actually say this can really change your daily routine and help you out in that bank account.
All right, let's get a final check on the forecast with Scott.
Well, we got to wait until we get into the weekend and into next week before we get the warming trend. Jeffrey, happy retirement to you. It's my last newscast working with you. We've been through mornings, weekends, and everything. A lot of years and a lot of fun. You're a good guy.
Yes, he is. That's all of our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Thanks for the company.